one of the most common concerns of new vacation rental owners is the dreaded party. These make national news headlines all the time, Airbnb parties. So how do you as a vacation rental owner avoid this issue? I'm going to cover that in this video. Are you ready? Let's go. Hi, I'm Derek with the Vacation Rental Life, and I love putting these videos together for you so that you can speed up your learning and get back to living your vacation rental life. So be sure to share these videos, give it a thumbs up on YouTube, and let's get going and find out how you can avoid parties in your vacation rental. So the very first step is the easiest one of all. It's just to talk to your guests before and after booking. And I know if you are on Airbnb, you're probably thinking, how am I going to talk to them before they arrive? Well, you might not be able to in all circumstances. Some channels do limit your ability to talk to a guest on the phone before they book, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to give you clues when they're communicating with you about what their intentions are with your party, with your property, and whether they're going to have a party. Things to look out for are words such as small gathering or a few friends come over or things of that nature. Be on the lookout because people will give you clues, and then you just dig into those questions and ask some more before they book. Then after they book, you pretty much exclusively do get their phone numbers on every channel as the posting of this video. So then I recommend calling them up, and you don't have to give them the third degree. You can do it from a customer service standpoint. Ask them, what brings you to town? What are you going to do? What kind of suggestions could I give you to make your stay most memorable? So come at it from this angle and start fishing for some clues that might lead you to know whether they're going to just come for a few days of R&R like you hope, or if they're planning to throw a rager. If they start asking you about parking, about how close the neighbors are, things of that nature, well, those might be some red flags that you should pay attention to. So next up is the rental agreement. So you definitely want to have a very strongly worded rental agreement. In the case of my property management company, I actually have it listed as a possible fine of up to $5,000 if there are signs of someone throwing a party at my property. So if someone is planning on throwing a get-together and they book with us and they're required to sign the rental agreement every single booking, if they read that section, that might scare them away and make them uncomfortable. So I highly, highly recommend a firmly worded rental agreement about extra people, clauses about how many cars are allowed at the property, whatever might be the right scenario for you and your property to avoid having more people than expected. So next up in my suggestions are technology. So there's several technology options out there that can help you. And mind you, these are solutions for once the guests already get there and helps you mitigate problems before they get out of hand. Such ideas are cameras. These aren't appropriate for all properties, but if these are standalone homes, you can do Ring Doorbell or Blink. There's several different providers out there that you can use to monitor your property without being nosy and overly nosy, especially cameras on the outside of your property facing your driveway, possibly, like I said, the Ring Doorbell system. If you have a backyard, maybe having a single camera that's pointing towards your backyard just to be aware of if there's more people in the backyard than you might expect. Then there's some great noise monitoring devices such as Noise Aware and Point. Both of these products measure decibel levels and could send you push notifications over Wi-Fi to your phone if people are being louder than you want them to be. And I personally use Noise Aware, and with this, you're able to set different decibel thresholds for different times of day. So during the day, when you're not quite so worried, you can have a higher threshold. And then at nighttime, I start about 7 p.m. start throttling how loud I expect the guests to be. That way I can get ahead of problems before real quiet hours start at like 9, 10 o'clock in the various buildings. And most importantly about all these technologies, don't be afraid to disclose to your guests that you're using them. So a lot of channels actually require you to disclose this, such as on Airbnb, you need to say if you have cameras on the property or noise monitoring devices on the property. And this is best practice, I'd say, across the board. And a lot of hosts think, oh, I don't want to tell them because that might scare them away. Don't worry about that. If anything, use this to your advantage. Let the guests know that you have these devices there that you're going to be watching, and so that they know that your property is not a great one to throw that rager at. So next step is something that we do with our company that is not scalable or possible for many, but that is meet guests whenever possible. So when you're living close enough to your property, if you're able to meet your guests or drop in after they check in or whatever the case might be, them meeting the property owner or the manager has a huge effect on how they might treat your property. They now have a face and a name to associate with that property. It's going to be a lot harder for them to throw that rager that you're scared of. And when that's not possible, the next best option is making sure that guests think you're nearby, even if you're not. So you can do things like suggest that you're right around the corner if they need anything in your messaging, or you might say, oh, would you like me to stop by and say hi, or my manager to stop by and say hi, anything like that in your messaging. So doing those types of things throughout the process can help scare away any guests that might be thinking about inviting a few too many guests over. So anyway, so let's go over those things again. So first of all, 1, we'll talk to your guests before booking. 2, use a rental agreement, strongly worded one. 3, leverage technology. 4, meet guests whenever possible. 5, when that's not possible, make sure that they think at least you are nearby and available to help them whenever possible. So for more great tips and advice just like this, be sure to look up our Facebook group, the Vacation Rental Life. There's lots of great owners in there that will help give you tips and tricks and give you suggestions throughout your day. And then also, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so that you don't miss any of this content that we put out in future weeks. And as always, remember to work smart, not hard, and live your vacation rental life.